What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So, it is a crazy time in the League of Legends world right now. Again, we have this little off-season period that the rumors and speculation are starting to swirl. They're starting to pop up. Also, MSI starts tomorrow, and then we're going to have like 3 full weeks of craziness for that. But as soon as MSI gets over, I'm pretty sure the day after the free agency period for the summer split starts. So, building up throughout MSI, we're going to have all these rumors swirling, and then as soon as MSI wraps up, we're going straight into a crazy offseason. So this is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be very exciting. And today we have an absolutely massive story to talk about. It is very speculative. It is a really big rumor. And nothing is confirmed at all. And a lot of people are going to think it's crazy. A lot of people are maybe going to think it's stupid or whatever. But this is the rumor and the news that potentially Kaiser could be leaving Mad Lions. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. I know at first glance it maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, but think back. You know, Caps has left Fnatic. Perks has left G2. Crazy stuff happens all the time. And maybe you think it's unlikely, but it's at least possible. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. Really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, helping get my content, videos, channel out to more and more people. That's the goal here. That would be absolutely insane. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We're trying to hit 7,000 subs. I think we're like 100 away, maybe like 102 away. So that'd be absolutely awesome. You know, if you're not subscribed, run those numbers up. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, Skeleton. He is a very respected rumor guy. You know, does he get some stuff wrong? Yeah, because they're just rumors. You know, he's not saying that any of this stuff is going to happen ever. He's just saying, this is what I heard. This is what's going on. And when players and teams talk, that doesn't mean anything's going to happen. You know, Kaiser can talk to Mad Lions about leaving. And somebody can say that he's considering leaving. And just because it doesn't happen doesn't mean that the rumor wasn't true. You know, so we get in this really weird spot where a rumor account or I'll say something and then it doesn't happen. And then people want to, like, you know, throw it in our face when it's like, no, I'm telling you straight up front, you know, none of this is confirmed. None of this is necessarily going to happen, but it's at least an option. And I want to let you guys know what's going on and then also discuss about what it could possibly mean if it does happen. So when it does, or if it does happen, we're prepared and we just kind of know what's going on, because I think it's fun to talk about all the hypotheticals and theory craft and roster build and all that stuff. So Scott Skeleton, very good rumor guy. He's like the second biggest account probably. I know Wooloo has crazy amount of followers, but Skeleton's got like 5,000. I think he's probably the second biggest. He said, rumor, EG want to replace Ignar with Plasma from UCAM. So, you know, this got people talking about Plasma from UCAM. We talked about him in one of my previous videos. Really good European Master support for UCAM, who finished in the top 4 at European Masters. They had a good run. EUM players are going to be getting looked at by LCS and LEC teams without a doubt. He goes on to say, to specify one of these teams looking at, you know, because he said this is not a done deal. Plasma does have interest from other teams. So he heard that one of these teams is Mad. He's not sure on the others yet, but then he also said, yes, this would imply that Kaiser is leaving. But if that's true, I don't know, and could only speculate to who. So that is very interesting. That is a big story. Kaiser is one of the best supports in Europe. He's honestly at his best and absolute, without a doubt, a world-class support. Goes toe-to-toe with the best of them. Mad Lions are coming off an LEC championship. They're gonna have an MSI appearance. Who knows how they're gonna do? Maybe they do really well. Maybe they flop. Maybe how they do affects what Kaiser thinks for his future. But also, maybe Kaiser is in contact with some other teams already. You know, they go on to talk about here that I think there's a reply here that somebody's like, Mad wants to replace Kaiser, or Kaiser's leaving. Skeleton has heard that Kaiser is leaving, but they haven't confirmed anything. And then this guy says the only way Kaiser would leave is to go to G2 or Fnatic. That's the only way. And then Skeleton's kind of like, yeah, I do agree. So this kind of, you know, gets the juices flowing of, could Kaiser be on the move to a G2, to a Fnatic, to a big team, to a bigger offer, maybe make some more money, maybe end up in a better position? And I know everyone's going to say, oh, well, Mad Lions just won the championship. How could you end up in a better position? Well, that's with Kaiser on Mad Lions. Now, say Kaiser went to G2 or Fnatic or to another team. Could that team be better than Mad Lions right now, or could they end up being better than Mad Lions without Kaiser? That's absolutely possible. So there is still potentially better option. Just because he's on the team that won the spring split, that does not mean he's in the best place for him financially or in terms of success. You know, who knows if he doesn't like the management, if he doesn't like his teammates, if he doesn't like the environment, who knows? There's so much that goes into it. But Again, this is what Skeleton is hearing, and it's pretty crazy. Yeah, he's hearing that potentially, again, we don't know for sure, that Kaiser could be wanting to leave. And again, pretty crazy coming off the backs of a championship, pretty crazy coming off the backs of an MSI appearance. But, you know, not everyone likes the situation they're in. You never know exactly what's going on. But then again, just talking about the potential options, we did hear Wooloo tweeting out that Carzzy and Kaiser did not extend their contracts with Mad Lions. And he does say that it doesn't mean they'll leave next year. We've talked about this previously with Selfmade Whippo Hill is saying, just because you're offered a contract extension, you don't sign it, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to leave. Maybe you want to test free agency. Maybe you want to see how good you pop off in summer and maybe make more money, maybe get a better offer. Maybe you want to get a bunch of offers from a bunch of different teams. Maybe you want to see how much money North America is going to throw at you and then leverage those offers against other teams and other organizations to try and get the most money possible. That's all very, very possible. Or maybe you're thinking about leaving. Maybe you don't like where you're at. Or maybe you think there's a better offer, a better team, a better situation, a better environment out there for you. That is also very, very possible. There's also the option again of maybe Kaiser just wants to see how his team does at MSI. Maybe he wants to see if they can actually go to an international event and you know, not flop, not choke, because that's what they're kind of coming off the back of their Worlds appearance in 2020. So, I don't know. That is possible. But the interesting part here is he goes on to say that Fnatic are also in contact with Hades and Plasma, which means that Fnatic, at the least, is in contact with some other supports. Does that mean they're going to sell off Hilly? Does that mean they're going to bench Hilly? Does that mean they're looking at somebody for Fnatic Rising for maybe for the future? I don't know, but it does mean they're at least in contact with other supports. So then, would it be possible that maybe they're looking at Kaiser? It could be. G2, Mickey's coming off probably his worst split that he's had on G2, you know, and G2 having some disappointing results. I don't expect them to make any changes, but maybe looking into the future, maybe into this next offseason, they could be looking at some changes. And I think Kaiser has been a guy rising meteorically up the charts for a lot of people in terms of supports. He is at his best an MVP level player in the LEC. And if the LEC really is, you know, a world-class league that can play with the other regions at its best, then that would mean Kaiser could potentially be one of the best players in the world and a player support that any team would be lucky to have, any team would be dying to have. So I do think this is really, really interesting. Again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know exactly what the options for Kaiser would be. We haven't really heard any team names or any of that stuff going on. I also don't know who Mad Lions would get in replacement. You know, yes, they are talking to Plasma, but Plasma has a lot of offers from other teams. Right now, he's getting Evil Geniuses. You know, they're going to be throwing out big money over in the LCS. You know, Evil Geniuses is actually one of the teams that is spending. They're not going to throw crazy money at European Master player, but you assume they'd be paying a little bit more than the EU teams. Fnatic's in the running. Vitality might be in the running. You know, there is some of these other teams looking at him. But yeah, it's just really, really crazy. And I don't know exactly what this means. I don't know, again, what's going to happen over the course of MSI, when a decision is going to be made. But we do know that free agency is like 19 days away from starting. I believe it starts May 24th. I think MSI Finals is May 23rd. Free agency starting right after that. And this would be crazy. I mean, to have a team win a championship and then to make a move, or for a player to make a move or change, you know, that's kind of unprecedented. We haven't really seen that recently, and it would be really, really crazy. And I don't even know how likely I think this is. I haven't heard a ton about this as a rumor. I haven't heard a ton of other people talking about it or anything like that. And I think it would be crazy. But again, these LEC teams, most of them are not making money. To hold on to a player like Kaiser, to try and re-sign him to a big deal. Maybe their negotiations haven't been going great. Maybe the amounts of money that they're talking about are way different. And maybe Kaiser knows he's going to be leaving. He knows that he deserves a certain salary. He deserves a certain amount of money, and he's wanting to move on. And maybe Mad Lions understands that they're not going to be able to keep him very much longer, and maybe they want to sell him off and collect some money. Because again, these are businesses at the end of the day. Yes, Mad Lions is undoubtedly going to be a better team with Kaiser on the team. There's no way around that. You know, they'd be better at him with MSI, Summer Split, Worlds, wherever. But also, if they know going forward that that is not going to be a reality, they could maybe look to sell him off, get a bunch of money, and then maybe use that money to then end up going out and getting somebody. And it sucks that they'd have to lose one of their best players that way, but it could be a reality. Again, it is at least possible. And I know people are going to say I'm an idiot, and I know people are going to say there's no way this is happening, shut up, this is stupid, this is bait, whatever. But again, we have heard crazy rumors. We have heard crazy speculation. We have heard stuff that you would say there's no way that's happening. There's no way that makes sense. And we've seen it happen. We've literally seen stuff like this come to fruition, come to light. This would be definitely a crazier one. And I'm so interested in following the story as we go on. But, I don't know exactly what to make of it at this time. People are saying Matt would be mental to move Kaiser away unless his contract's up and he's looking at bigger money. If his contract isn't up and Matt is fishing for a new sport, then I'd be tilted out of my mind. There's no way, there's no way that Mad Lions is just like, we want to replace Kaiser. We think we can do better than just Kaiser. Obviously, this next guy goes on to say, cash in on the big buyout now before the contract's out in November and a free agent then. And I definitely agree with that. That's something that we do see in traditional sports all the time. But it's not usually with teams coming off a championship. It's not usually the teams at the very, very top. That's usually the middling teams, the bottom two teams. And that's why I really think it makes sense for a team like Fnatic to potentially sell off like a Bwipo or a Selfmade or a Hylissang, because they aren't fresh off a championship. They aren't going to MSI. They aren't going to Worlds. For a team like Mad Lions, I think it makes much less sense. And that's why, in the end, I think this would be pretty shocking and pretty surprising to see happen. But if it did, I could definitely understand it to an extent. And I think that's what's going to be crazy. I know it would make a lot of people mad. I know it would make a lot of people crazy, but could potentially make a G2 fan very happy. Could potentially make a Fnatic fan very happy. But we will have to see what happens. I'll definitely be staying on the top of the situation, on the top of the story, and letting you guys know what's coming next. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it if you guys did drop a like on this video. Really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Kaiser is going to be on Mad Lions in the future? What team do you think he could go to? What team do you think he should go to? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!